the excitement's got to be building towards a game like this. I mean, for a lot of the boys, it's maybe one of the biggest games of their careers.
Yeah, of course. Like, the excitement's there. It's been there for every game in this tournament. I think coming up against a side like India, and maybe just throws things into a new level, perhaps. But yeah, the boys are really looking forward to the fixture. It's been one that's sort of been highlighted a while ago, but we also knew that every one of these games was going to be important. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
There's a kind of a real sense of excitement there. So given how well you performed yesterday against New Zealand, you showed what you're capable of against these kind of full member nations.
Yeah, of course. Look, we know, and we've said it right from the start, every one of these Super 12 games is going to be a challenge. Doesn't matter which team you come up against, and the opportunity to try and test yourself against some of the best players in the world is a really important time for us, phase in the Cricket Scotland journey, I guess, of how we can how we show and what we do, and show what we're capable of. We realise we have to play really, really well to give ourselves the best chance. And yeah, there was opportunities yesterday in yesterday's game that, you know, if we look back now, that, you know, moments in that game could have changed the outcome of the final result. But we have to be better and keep raising our bar to be capable and be willing to take those opportunities when they come around.
Kind of just lastly for me, how's kind of Josh Davey looking? Is he likely to be available for tomorrow?
Yeah, Josh is still, well, he's being assessed today, so yeah, it's hard to give a final result on that. That's down to the medical staff and the support staff to make that decision. So yeah, he does have a bit of a niggle, but we'll see how he is.
Cheers.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Anuj Mishra, please.
Do you feel that Scotland need to alter their plans considering how India bounced back in the last game?
Okay, I think you asked what are our plans against India. Is that right?
Yeah, or you have changed your plans considering how India bounced back.
Well, I'll just speak about. Yeah, look, obviously it's a formidable challenge coming up against a very strong Indian team full of exciting players, and we've got to try and push that to one side, to be honest, and just try and take on the challenges that we face in front of us on the day. And you know, it might sound a bit of a cliche, but we have to focus on what we're really good at and what's going to give us the best chance of winning the game of cricket. Look, we'll do our homework on India, as any team will do, and we know the skills that they've got within their camp. So we go into that game. We can't fear the players, but we've got to respect them, and we'll go in trying to give it everything we've got.
Okay, let's go to Graham McPherson, please. You're still on mute there, Graham.
Yeah, apologies. Kyle, sorry about that. Kind of slightly left field, Kyle. Are you still involved with the ICC Cricket Committee?
Yes, I am, yeah.
So have you had kind of dealings with Anil Kumble and Rahul Dravid in particular, and what have you taken from both those gentlemen?
Yeah, they've the two fantastic people. I guess icons and people who are fully respected amongst the game. So yeah, being able to spend a bit of time with them over the last couple of years in and out of meetings has been pretty special, real surreal in many ways actually, but it's been a real honour to be sat next to them. Although the last 2 years there hadn't been many meetings going on with the whole pandemic and all that, but listening to their views on the game is really special to get their insights and where they think the game needs to go, etc., etc. So yeah, two good people to bounce ideas off.
Does Rahul ever speak about his time with Scotland, or is that a period that you remember?
Yeah, it is actually. I did remind him that one of my first ever county games for Scotland, we were involved in a run out, and I was the person who was run out, and he wasn't. But I think that was fair enough, considering that he was the mainstay of the Scotland team then, and making sure that he he performed well and scored runs. So I remember the day pretty clearly. I got a clear no and got sent back. And
Who was that? Who was that against, Cal?
That was against Northamptonshire at Wantage Road. I remember that day. But he was always very, very. He's a very humbling person. Someone very respectful and speaks so highly and so well to all the players. So yeah, he's a fine individual.
And just finally for me, were there any particular kind of Indian batters or captains that you looked up to when you were younger?
Oh, I think pretty much all of them, to be honest. You know, like everyone who's taken on the reins, you know, anyone who takes on the reins of an Indian side is going to be facing a whole heap of pressure, and there's a lot of, you know, hype and media around that team. So you've got to be a pretty special individual to be able to handle that pressure and the enormity of the games that India play. So yeah, I think there's a whole heap of respect for all those captains, if I'm being honest.
Thanks, Kyle.
Great, and I think we'll take the last two questions now from, firstly, by Joe Bowes, please.
Hi, Kyle. Just wanted to ask you, I mean, considering the way the Indian batters went last night, I mean, how important is it going to be for your batters, beginning with you, to, you know, start really well and put the runs on? I mean, even if you're, well, while you're batting first or while chasing, I mean, how important is it going to be to, you know, score heavily?
Yeah, I think one of the challenges in this tournament has been setting a total has actually been quite tricky. Sides haven't, you know, there's been wickets that have gone down early in a number of the innings. Although, you know, you look at the Indian scorecard yesterday, and that clearly wasn't the case. You know, so there was a big opening partnership and a big total put on the board. But we know that setting a total has certainly been a challenge in this tournament. So I think if we, as a batting unit, if we can sort of, you know, obviously look to play positively, but try and keep wickets in hand at the same time, that's the balance that you've got to try and find. Often sides have found themselves 2-3 wickets down coming out the power play, which is less than ideal. So yeah, finding that balance. But I think importantly, it's about assessing the pitch first of all and trying to make the right choices on that.